Hilton brings you new ways to stay, with experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Llegaron los nuevos McCrispy Strips, listos para aventurarse en la mezcla de mayo ketchup, la barbecue que quedó en el fondo de la cajita, Hot Fudge Sundae y en la nueva Creamy Chili McCrispy Strip Dip. Los nuevos McCrispy Strips, ahora en McDonald's. Para pa pa pa.
It's Saturday and the game is on. 10 minutes in, it's 3-0. I'm sipping back.
Got me off the couch. I screamed. My roommate went to bed very early. This was that West Coast game, so he had to be quiet. But I let out like a little, oh! I couldn't help it. Beautiful shot from Shoppy, Thad.
What kind of noise was that? It didn't sound normal on this end.
Whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another shade of blue. We are the KC Soccer Journal. My name is Cody Bradley, Thad Bell, Robert Russert, and Kerry Not Zavagnin Robinson is also here. 0-0 draw. 6 points below the line, scratched out a good result to finish off a rough stretch of matches there. Thad, how are you starting to feel about this? 6 points below the line.
Still, I mean, weren't they 6 points below the line a couple games ago? But
Thaddeus. Come on, man.
Hey, you know, if everybody else is going really high, I try to bring it back down. If everybody else is really low, I try to bring it back up. So that's true to my nature, but I'm still pretty much more enthusiastic. I'm just tired. So if I'm not really jumping up and down and waxing rhapsodic.
Oh, so that's what you would normally do on the podcast, is jump up and down and wax episodic and all of that. That's what we normally get, but tonight he's tired. Kerry, come on, you got to be feeling good about this. I know they're not playing amazing, but like they're putting some results together here, scratched out a tough schedule. Come on, you feeling good about this?
Yeah, I mean, we had that long streak of losses. Now it's currently a streak of ties.
1 loss in the last 4. I can get behind that.
You got to think that eventually the streak of wins will come.
Well, Thad and I being the older people, I'm going to bring it down to 2 points out of 9. That's not going to do it for us, is it?
Okay. 1 loss out of the last 4 sounded better. 2 straight results sounds even better.
But all also over a span of 4,000 miles and a comeback from 2 down.
Yeah, against a rival.
There you go. That's a good thing.
3 road games, 2 really tough teams, the other one a rival game. I counted over 5,000 miles of travel, however many plane trips, bad barbecue in St. Louis. All these things come into play, right?
See, we just needed Robert to be a contrarian to get Thad going there. I finally got his take on the current form of the team.
Well, I'm trying to be balanced a little bit, man. You know, the first 6 games under Kerry was win, loss, win, loss, win, loss. Not bad. Then we've started the next 6 games. They are 2 ties on tough road trips. It's not his fault that he the team wasted some of those home games early in the season. But now, after a couple more road games, he'll have a couple more home games. So it's going to balance out a little bit, right?
But hey, the only reason we're 6 points out is because we're chasing teams that have only, in 14 games, won 4 games, 5 games. I mean, the 6th place team in our conference has only won 5 games.
Yeah, but this is MLS. You can catch up and make playoffs,
right?
By having a slightly good run, So,
slightly being the key there. It doesn't even need to be that great.
But like we said, 6 points, although it's not changed in the last couple games, the 6 points out, the form they've gotten some results, tough places. They're not a perfect team by any means at this point, but they're better.
So the first time in sunny San Diego, 0-0 draw against Chucky, and that's a good team there. I'm proud of that result. Pulskamp, Robert, was the highest rated player for Sporting Kansas City. What did you think of the Big Bear? He's putting some results together.
As well as he should have been, right? I mean, he is really becoming much more bold for balls in the box. He's going out and punching things. He's going out there putting his body in danger, exposing his rib cage. I mean, the guy has really ramped it up in, the last 5-6 games?
Well, dare I say, it's not that he's gotten more bold to go do that. I think he's just been more successful at it. I think he's always been kind of brave, but we've seen him go out, at least take a step and do all of that and then not be able to do it and then get stuck in a bad spot. I think he's just more successful at it. He's picking the right times to do it where he can go get the ball.
I think he's being more aggressive. I think before he was a little hesitant. There was a moment in the game last night where he kind of got to a ball late, where it was kind of his weak moment in the match. But I think he's just been more aggressive and more confident, if you will.
I know.
More decisive.
Yeah,
there you go.
Decisive.
I know Robert was trying to tell me that numbers lie and you can make them do whatever you want, but only 3 goals conceded in the last 4 games for Pulskamp, Kerry.
Yeah, he's looking good. More confidence. We talked about this last week, how he's now at a point where he's had the most appearances that in both a season and consistently that he's ever had, and he's looking good for it.
Love that fist pump that he had after the big save. Another kick save and a Butte he had, and just wasted 0 time. He was all pumped up. I like the back line. The defense has been playing a lot better as a whole defensive unit. We kind of talked about this also last week. Has the defensive improvement, Thad, come at the expense of some attacking power?
Yes, at least to a certain degree, because they're focusing on it a little bit more. But I think it's also just that they're not having the greatest run of form from the midfield at the moment either.
Right.
It's a little bit of give and take, right? You focus more on one side and the other end will suffer a little bit. And hopefully they get it figured out. But some of that might just come to being back at home at some point.
Got to get back in front of the blue hell. Leibold and Kyrie, Robert, got the starts at outside back. Little squad rotation for the tough schedule. What'd you think of Kyrie?
Well, I'll tell you what, guys. They've played this 4-3-3, and we can wax poetic about, it varies, for a long time now. And what does the 4-3-3 really need? It needs good wing backs. And, Logan, when he's on form, he's good. But we haven't had much else for quite a while. I'm sorry, Kyrie just isn't it going forward. We've known that defensively. He does okay. Brody, he's like a Sinovic. We talked about that midweek. But, the wing backs are the weakest part of this field. And we've been talking, what do we need in the summer window? And watching last night, I'm more convinced now that we need a right back.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Leibold would like a word, though, at saying that nothing is working on the outside backs for his role in the build-up play and the finish.
Well, that was nice, yes. Yeah, he's the better of the lot for sure. Him and Ndembe are certainly better than that right side.
Which is also kind of crazy that he was not that first choice in that St. Louis game, since he was an injury sub. Which I did go back and watch that second half so I could appreciate Shoppy even more.
Ugh. Shoppy appreciation is not done because he had our one chance in this. But we're talking about the defense right now. Thad, where do you stand with Kyrie?
He's a great human being. Would he be my first choice at outside back? No. I mean, that's just sorry, Kyrie. But I mean, he's a great guy. He's a good guy to have on the team to fill in several spots when you need him. But he should never be the guaranteed starter. But he's not. I mean, Brody is there. So he's the starter when he's healthy and rested and et cetera, et cetera.
I mentioned one other time on the show catching Shoppy being just incensed with Kyrie on not being in a position. Shoppy made a run, like a 75-yard recovery run, to be in a spot where I think he was expecting Kyrie to be, and then just had his hands up, was kind of yelling at him. And I saw it again in this game. He doesn't even try to hide it. He was all composed for the whole game in St. Louis before he unleashed there after the whistle. But when it comes to Kyrie, Shoppy has no patience.
Does he find a stepladder to get up in Kyrie's face?
It's a valid point. They're always at a distance away from each other, so maybe that's why he's brave enough to do that.
Now we haven't done this lately, guys, but remember we had that watch party at the brewery place down there by the River Market. So we ought to do that again. And every time that Kyrie or Bartlett go back or sideways, we take a drink. We'll be gone before the 20th minute.
Yeah, with Bartlett, I mean, again, I'm much more high on Bartlett than I know some people are. But yeah, he does have a tendency, and I think it's just being younger and not as confident for some reasons. But he does tend to get the ball and go sideways or back. He's not breaking lines right now often enough. He does once in a while, but not often enough.
I actually think he had his best game last night.
Yeah.
His positioning wise, being more aggressive in the tackle, being more aggressive in his pressure. So, he looked good last night, I thought.
Who was this? I'm sorry.
Bartlett. There was a couple passes. I think he gave one up that he gave right to the other team. But otherwise, I think he was pretty strong last night.
Yeah. And he is still 19, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And I think he was the second highest rated player for Sporting KC, actually. It probably would have been Manu, but Manu picked up a yellow card at some point, and FootMob really knocks you hard for the cards on that. It hurts your performance. Something I disagree with, because numbers lie, as we've shown several times here already. But Manu did have a very good game. Silky smooth from Manu.
You guys saw that where he got out of 3 defenders.
Oh.
He did a spin and got out of it in the final aspect of it. But that guy, he's good.
Yeah, he really is, man. I think the last 3 games, I think he's found a new level, or he's more comfortable and pinging balls around the field in a way that I'm really impressed by. It's not seeming to work, though. We're going to go to break and talk about the offense, or the lack thereof, in this last game. We'll be right back.
Make your next move with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. And with a welcome offer of 150,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership, your business can soar to new heights. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum. Amex Business Platinum. Built for business by American Express.
This episode is brought to you by PetSmart. Stop by for Yappy Hour with your pet at PetSmart. Save $5 on walk-in grooming services like nail trims, ear cleaning, brushing, and more. No appointment needed every weekday from 2 to 6 p.m. And while you're there, Yappy Hour includes exclusive in-store deals like 25% off pet toys. Visit services.petsmart.com/grooming to learn more. This episode is brought to you by Temptations Cat Treats. Your cat will come running for the perfectly irresistible Temptations Creamy Puree and Temptations Lickable Spoon Cat Treats. The best time to feed lickable cat treats to your cat is anytime. Feed by hand for a playful moment, in a bowl for a creamy treat, or as a topper to make mealtime fun. Visit TemptationsTreats.com to learn more.
How does PwC take your company to the leading edge? They bring the sharpest minds in tech to your team, so you can bring the ideas that will transform your business. They're passionate about your industry, so you can walk into any room with every advantage. And they're with you every step of the way, so you can know you're headed in the right direction. PwC builds for what's next, so you can get there now. Get started at pwc.com/us/leading edge.
All right, we already hinted at Shopee. The 1 point from this game that got me excited. It got me off the couch. I screamed. My roommate went to bed very early. This was that West Coast game, so he had to be quiet. But I let out like a little, oh! I couldn't help it. Beautiful shot from Shopee, Thad.
What kind of noise was that? It didn't sound normal on this end.
Apparently there's a dolphin or an otter or something in Cody's living room.
No, that was my point. It doesn't sound normal because I was trying to stifle myself and be quiet, like in the press box. But a shot like that, I was doing the lean because he was shooting it from that perfect angle to watch on TV, and you can see it bending, and you're like trying to lean and help it get there. Oh, so close. Shopee deserved that one, man.
So did that count as our one shot on goal? Was that what it was? Or does that even count as a shot on goal? I guess it does.
No, I don't think that it does.
It doesn't? Okay.
I think a shot on goal is only if it's saved or
right.
Or could have went in.
Yeah, could have went in.
Yeah.
I thought that shots on goal also if it hits the crossbar.
No, because that's not on goal, technically. Like if no one touched it,
Strangely enough. On goal.
But your goal is to not hit the crossbar. It's to go past the crossbar is the goal.
It's not a crossbar challenge.
I know. I always used to. I got paid to do the scoreboard for our soccer games in high school. And I kept getting pushback on that because I was crediting all the crossbars and posts as shots on goal. Like, I dare you to tell me that this isn't on goal. But I think if it has to be, if it's not impeded and it doesn't go in, then it technically was not on goal.
That makes sense. It makes sense.
So the rest of these stats here, they finished with 0.05 XG. I'm pretty sure that's less than the 0 shots the entire game against LA, isn't it? 0.05.
It can't be less because it was 0.0 against LA. I mean, it can't be less. I mean, that's.
Wait, so it was 0. That's how that works. You can't have you can't have any expected goal, even if you're just dribbling it across the face of the goal. Like, that doesn't count as XG, even if you don't actually take the shot.
If you don't take some form of shot, yeah.
Yeah, see, I have a lot of problems with XG, but I'm not sure they really deserved more than the 0.05. Even Shopee's shot was a hopeful one from distance.
But it was a good shot.
It was very good. So, yeah, 0.05 XG, 2 total shots, 1 on goal. 87% of their passes were in their own half. SKC had 5 touches in the opponent's box the entire game.
I mean, it definitely felt like that. So...
It honestly didn't feel like that. The team is scrappy. I was on board with just the scrappiness. Like, look at this. We're going to scratch out a result here.
I felt like it, I mean, I could tell that it was very San Diego heavy, which a lot of people after the game, they're like, well, that was a night wasted. But I honestly felt like it wasn't. I don't know. I was fine. I was driving to Lawrence and I had it up on my dashboard listening to my AirPods. So I was like kind of half paying attention. But I enjoyed that game, honestly. I mean, San Diego is a team that has scored, I know, past defense, but we're talking 2-0, 2-1, 5-0 against teams. Like, they're very high scoring.
Yeah, they were one of the top teams in Major League Soccer. I was really proud of this performance. It wasn't pretty, but, if you're not good, you got to be gritty. What else do you have to be if you're not good?
And it's a building block. It continues to be a building block, right? So you get a result, you get better. Again, everything that was against them, road trip, all that good stuff, injuries, tired legs, all those things, and they get a result. And it was a better game than the LA game where they got a win. Not by a long shot, but it was. And it wasn't because it wasn't in Kansas City. So you're not expected to be the best team when you're on the road, right?
So Joveljic did not travel. He is about to become a father, or did that actually happen? They thought it was going to happen over the weekend, but I never actually heard. I didn't see an Instagram post today or over the weekends.
Right.
He hasn't texted me.
No word from Decky yet. Okay.
Yeah.
So in his place,
Joveljic. That would be a great name. Thaddeus Joveljic.
Thaddeus the Godfather.
Nah.
I like this. So in his place, Santiago Munoz got the start. Thad, what did you think? I know the results weren't there or really anything on the offensive end, but what did you think of his first start?
It was okay. I don't know that it would have been better with Decky there, quite honestly. He might have had one more shot or something, but
yeah.
He had some good movement. He had some good touches, some good hold-up play at different times. I don't think there's a very fair evaluation of a guy because nobody in the team could really get the ball forward. It just wasn't the day to do that. So,
yeah, he's got nice feet. I think he's got pretty good handles, but he was doing one thing too many. I would see him do something good, and then the pass after it wasn't there, or he would try to keep the ball a little too long. But there's something there. He had a really good turn, not quite a Maradona turn, but he turned somebody and almost put him on the ground in the final third at one point. So yeah, I don't know, and like I'm kind of with you on. I don't know that it would have been all that better with Decky there, but I do think his movement is better than Munoz so far. But yeah, not a terrible performance. Mason Toy also got in. Robert, what do you think of Toy's very short? Poor guy got like 4 minutes.
I mean nothing. I mean nothing really. But going back to Munoz, he looked like a guy who was told, "Hey, go in, make sure that we stay compact defensively, and you do your part in that and pressuring the ball. And if you get a chance, take it." It looked like he was just following coach's orders there, and again didn't have a whole lot to do. But I like his potential, like you guys were saying. But, we were talking about Manu earlier, and, he had a good game, and it wasn't enough. But he works so hard defensively because he has to, because of the system we play, and B, because he's got Basong, who's not really going to add a whole lot offensively, and he's got Bartlett in there with him. So, it's kind of like him by himself leading the attack and in that midfield. So.
Yeah, going back to Santi for a second, I did ask Kerry about him last night after the game, and he said, yeah, I had a very good game, but kind of like you were saying, he took all the instructions that we wanted to defend and where we wanted to pick up the line of confrontation, and he moved with the game. So he was complimentary that he fit in with the whole defensive strategy, and that's what was the key thing. So I also like seeing the number 9 tattoo next to the number 7 on his shorts.
Yeah. All right, top 5 things you better be if you're a bad team. Number 5, the Dallas Cowboys. I don't know why. I don't know why they get away with it. They're just the exception to the rule. That's it. No one ever gets mad at them for being terrible. Number 4, you must be defending champions. The LA Galaxy. People are pretty mad about it, but they're kind of also getting away with it. They just re-upped with their coach. So even worse.
And they went up early tonight, and then they gave up a goal.
Yes, they are still in last place. 3 points so far, and maybe here you're going to get a 4th in El Tráfico. Number 3, you must be new, first or second season. First or second season only does not cover St. Louis. They just suck. And also another team that wants to fire their coach. Number 2, you must be young. Great excuse. It's always fine if you're a young team, fun. Hope for the future is a good excuse to be bad.
Wait, do we count this team as young?
No.
Okay. Youngish.
Well, are we? Yeah, I don't think we're quite young.
We're youngish.
Some youngish.
Our average is not 30 anymore. So
okay, we're team average on the right side of 30. I don't know that qualifies as young quite yet.
There are multiple players on this team that cannot legally drink.
Okay. And Kerry's using them all too. So a lot of subs in that game. Liked his use of subs. We're going to talk about Kerry. But first, the number 1 thing you have to be if you're not any good at soccer, and it is, of course, Scrappy. Ruined it. Gotta be
I'm
Scrappy.
glad you changed it from gritty to Scrappy. I like Scrappy. That's good.
Gritty, Scrappy, those are kind of the same thing to me, right?
Shappy
the Scrappy.
Or not. Depending on the situation.
That's true. So speaking of Kerry Zavagnin, I saw in FootMob, thanks to FootMob. No, they're not sponsored, but maybe we're working on that. I keep talking about them, but this is all for free. Found on FootMob that Kerry is at a 1.4 points per game since starting, And that would be, if you extrapolate for the course of the whole season, that is the highest for Sporting Kansas City since 2021.
Yeah, I mean, he's gotten some good results. We just need to cook at home. And let's see, we only have, one game in May at home, but June is pretty full. So hopefully we'll start cooking at home and get a lot of points in June.
Need to get KZ cooking. Kerry, not Zavagnin, Robinson. What do you think of Kerry Zavagnin?
We need a new nickname for him, first off. Every time I hear Kerry,
it's KZ.
Yeah.
Come on,
every time someone says Kerry, I do pop up, and then I have to remember that we're talking about KZ. So I got to make sure I'm paying attention.
You should be already.
Yeah, he's got a point to prove, and I mean, he's gonna. I think at the moment do whatever it takes at the moment to get more than 1.4 points per match.
Yeah, and I did. I think he made the right moves. I really liked the sub. He swapped out both of the outside backs at the same time. I like that he's using everyone. No one on the team, except for maybe Manu or Deki, are the standouts that you have to have on the field. And so, yeah, put him out there and see what is working. I like this.
Cody, Steven Afrifa would like a word, please.
Okay.
He would like a word, and Jake Davis might be a little concerned at the moment. He hasn't been getting as many appearances lately either.
Is he have a nagging injury, does Jake?
That's what I was wondering without seeing him come off the bench in that one last night.
I mean,
if he does,
he's had
don't know.
some the last month.
Yeah.
I saw Steven Afrifa was in a video, though. Robert, did you watch that? They did a...
No, I did not. I did not see that.
Him and Basong went and watched the Canada versus USA rugby match at CPKC Stadium. That's kind of a good video.
I saw the video but didn't watch it.
Okay, great input. Thank you for that, Thad.
It was okay.
I knew you'd appreciate it.
I swear sometimes he forgets we're doing a podcast and he thinks we're just catching up on the phone or something just because we miss each other.
All right, so Cody, Kerry Zavagnin, let's hear your thoughts and what does he need to do to, even raise this bar a little higher?
Man, I don't know. I think what he's doing is the best that you can at the moment. It looks like the players are responding to the new vibes, whatever he's doing. There's a bit more belief. They're fighting back like we saw against St. Louis and a couple other times. And again, like these gritty performances. I don't know what the end game is here. I've always liked Kerry. I don't know if the general theory among the fans is that we need someone more different than Kerry is from Peter Vermes. So I at the moment I don't know if I should be rooting for him. Like, do I want him to be the guy, or do I want us to go find some hot shot from overseas? That I don't know. Where are you stand with that?
We got to give him more time to see how he does, what he can do with this team. I don't know. I mean, I would love to be able to say, yes, I have a complete confidence that he can turn this team around and do everything else. But I still don't know if we're if we're just off the new coach bump, the tweaks, the players have a little belief, and they still need more players, better players, because looking at this lineup, if you're struggling to be even able to get shots on target at all in a game, one at home and one away and stuff like that, you need some help in the offense.
Well, yeah, if you say look at this lineup, that almost implied look at this lineup. They're so good. Why aren't we getting more? But I don't think I feel that. I know Jovic is very good, but
and that's what I mean is we're starting again. Basong, great guy, but we're starting him in the midfield. Don't need to be doing that. Things like that. So there's several players that they just need some other players to be able to be playing right now.
I guess so. How about from a high level, Robert? Would you rather them go find the best available coach in the world and come bring something entirely new and different, or if at the end of this season they announce that Kerry has been signed to a 3-year contract to be the head coach?
Well, as you guys are talking, I've just been kind of debating myself on, okay, we know he deserves a long opportunity, let's say Kerry does.
A good first shot.
But has he earned a longer opportunity yet? That's kind of the question in my head. And so far, he's done pretty well, I think. You talked about the points per game, and it's been good and shows some good character. He's letting the young guys play. He's given them more freedom. But again, I'm going to go back to what I said way back when they fired Peter. I'm more concerned about getting that person that's going to direct this club in the direction it needs to go than I am about replacing Kerry Zavagnin.
But I'm asking if you think Kerry is that person. Do you think he's the one that will go in that direction, whatever you think that is?
Well, I'm talking about a guy who's going to run the whole soccer operation, but I don't think Kerry's going to be that guy because they don't want him to be Peter number 2. So, yeah, I think Kerry, I have no problem with keeping Kerry and going with Kerry throughout the rest of the season, unless just the wheels totally fall off, which I don't think they're going to.
Again, it's KZ because Kerry over here, her eyes, she blinks she kind of twitches every time. Like, oh, am I supposed to talk?
Right. But we've known Kerry for so long. He's Kerry. Sorry.
I shaved my hair the other day or a few weeks ago, and I said that I'm no longer Kerry, I'm Caroline, because there's too many Kerrys in the soccer world right now.
Caroline.
I can't shade my hair every week. So
is that your real first name?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now we know.
So.
Okay.
Right.
I would almost
Caroline.
give KZ one more year, see what he does, especially because we know that there are still gaps in this roster that they still plan on filling in the next 2 windows. That's the summer window and then just the off season. And then we already know it's a rebuild year. I would give it another rebuild year. I mean, you can't just go from 0 to 1 in this league.
So are they going to have a 10-day window for those teams below the playoff line so we can add players if we need to?
No, only the special teams.
Okay. Any final thoughts on KZ or the 0-0 draw in San Diego?
You did say that it was sunny there. It was not sunny yesterday.
Okay.
It was partly cloudy and it was rainy, and we have to mention that it's rain when it's Snapdragon Stadium.
That was a very important correction there. Thank you for doing that, Kerry.
You know, my fiance was commenting on Kerry at the beginning of the game and mostly through the first half. That field looks terrible.
Yeah.
I'm a Snapdragon hater, so I have to mention when it's raining or whatever there every single time.
We'll be right back.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar, zero patience for slow walkers, those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night, have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
Are your business expenses playing hide and seek? With Uber for Business, the small spends that slip through the cracks, like rides and meals, go right where you need them. Because it integrates with leading expense platforms, you can say goodbye to surprise costs, missing dollars, or chasing receipts. Everything's track downable. Uber for Business. Make small steps that make a big impact. Learn more at uber.com/small steps.
Acura's all-new ADX, a compact SUV that isn't just built for one thing, it's precision crafted for everything. To escape the grind with available all-wheel drive. To go with your flow with available Google built-in.
Hey Google, turn it up.
Okay, turning up the volume. And crafted to be heard with an available Bang & Olufsen premium sound system. The all-new Acura ADX, crafted to match your energy. Acura, precision crafted performance.
Take your vibes and go.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC.
All right. I have had multiple people on this show within the last week or so both tell me that they have heard from a fan or received a message from someone about me, talking shit on me on this podcast. Where is this coming? Are we growing in our listenership? We're hearing more feedback from our fans. I don't care if
You're
it's
even picking on Sperry, Cody. What's up with that?
I don't care if it's negative about me. I just like the feedback. We never hear that.
Well, I've heard from various different fans over a long period of time. I mean, the guy who came to talk to me today was a guy who comes and talk to me a couple times a year at least.
SKC2 fan?
He's an SKC2 fan. He's a sporting fan, current fan. Kid plays soccer. Actually had a game down at Swope today after SKC2 game.
Shout out to that guy. Kansas City soccer staple right there. Shout out to all the SKC2 season ticket holders. Well done to you guys.
It wasn't Mike Kuhn, was it?
No. No, actually, I messaged Mike earlier because I was just asking if he had heard some of the rumors I was curious about. And he hadn't, but he had been in St. Louis today and back for a game here after having been to St. Louis for a game. So, poor guy.
Speaking of St. Louis, we kind of talked about them already. Thad, they're wanting to fire their coach again. Wasn't that just last year? Has it even been a full calendar year since they fired a coach?
Well, they want that guy back.
No way. That can't be true.
A lot of the fans do, yeah.
Wow.
Fans do because they think he wasn't the problem. So
well, then why'd they run him out of town? I thought
he didn't
all
get
of
along
the
with
fans.
his players.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's soccer, man. It's St. Louis. It's lots of places in the world. Fans are whiny.
Yeah, the Union are top of the table, so they're not going to give him up now. So yeah,
couple coaches available for them. Who do you think they would get if not their old coach?
Vermes.
Thad Bell. How dare you?
How much hatred, vitriol. I mean, I need like a thesaurus of words to describe this. Would there be if Peter went to coach St. Louis and turned them around and they climbed above Sporting? How much?
Damn you, Thad Bell.
I mean, I think people would be digging a moat across I-70.
Yeah.
To like, no, you cannot travel anymore.
Yeah, we'd go to war with that half of the state.
We'd put up a wall, start some tariffs.
But can't you see it happening, though? I mean, I can see that happening.
Well, if you can see it happening, why'd we fire him from here? If you have belief he can do it in St. Louis, why did we fire him?
I didn't say that, Cody. I just said I can see them hiring Vermes. I can see it happening.
Okay.
Look, I think Peter's still a good coach. He can go places and coach. And going into a team and having to solve a bunch of problems would probably be a really good scenario for him.
Peter, dear God, if you are listening, oh my God, please don't do it. Anywhere else. Go to
It should
Seattle.
be the lead. It should be the headline on your posting of our pod here, Cody. Come on.
Just a PSA to one person.
Peter Vermes, please don't.
Just don't. Please don't.
Yeah, now I'm not predicting that this is going to happen, but we would have editorials on our site every single day for 3 months. And Robert might be able to get one in besides Chad with that. So. Sorry, Chad. I just had to throw you under the bus on that one. Sorry, I apologize.
I know, Cody, you've got the Galaxy talking. It's like a little bit about them, and we already have a little bit. But
hold on,
Miami.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I didn't get the proper amount of time to talk about that Pompeu dickhead from St. Louis. Did you guys properly destroy him in that last episode, the midweek episode? Oh my God, I can't believe there's a guy on the team I hate more than Klaus. Oh, the guy had the best moment of his life, best goal he'll ever score, first goal in Major League Soccer. And then absolutely embarrassed himself. 30 seconds after he scored that goal, the referee was shaming him, wagging his finger in his face, and he was like a little kid, like, "Oh no, I don't know, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I didn't do anything." Just absolutely embarrassed himself. Child. He's a child, and St. Louis should be ashamed.
Shoppy was looking for him after the whistle.
Yeah.
They had to get the SKC bodyguard out there.
Yeah.
Take him out back and teach him a lesson.
Yeah, the 6'4" bodyguard was out there, like immediately put an arm around Choppy and like, we're getting you out of here now. They probably had him under cover when they took him out to the bus to get him to the airport. I mean, he was hated in that state. I'm sitting down there like shooting and stuff, and it's like people like, that number 93 is the worst guy ever. He's terrible and he's instigating everything. And I'm like, No, it's the other asshole, man.
Be careful with the word shooting in St. Louis and what you're talking about.
Yeah. Well, it is common in downtown St. Louis.
I saw him put his hands to his ears and all of that, but he was getting boos long before he did the hand. I think the hands to the ears was a retaliation to it.
Yes. He was getting boos like from right after he came in.
I just thought St. Louis. I just thought they pick a random player because Jake Davis gets it. It's every game. Sometimes it's Logan and Denbei. He's gotten boos the whole game. It just seems like they pick a random player every time. But I guess Shoppy and that Pompeu were going at it most of the game. Seriously,
I was trying to pay attention to like how that started because that was a big question in our Slack, and all I saw was that Shoppy had a minor foul on him. He went to go talk to the ref, and then they just kept talking the entire time after that.
Yeah.
So Pompeu must have said something, or
no, Pompeu never shut up the entire game. Seriously, go back. I'm gonna have to do it because I have a friend in St. Louis that's been talking shit, so I'm gonna have to go get this video for everyone tomorrow. It's right after he scored that goal. He just gets in. I think it's Bartlett's face. Like Bartlett tries to make a quick pass and he deflects it and just like chest bumps and is like, yeah, come on, like gets in his face. Like looked like a Neanderthal, looked like a child. And then instantly got yelled at by the referee. And then there's another guy they have on the team. I think he is from Topeka. He subbed in and instantly had a good play. Betcher. This guy Betcher. Instantly got in, almost scored. He's the one, Pulskamp had that kick save and the fist pump. And right after that play, this dude is doing the like second tier in South America kind of stuff where he's like trying to bump into Basong and then he kind of crosses his path and then falls over like Basong gave him an elbow or something, trying to get him a red card. Just shameful stuff from St. Louis. If you didn't already hate them enough, those two plays are why the soccer gods refused to give them all 3 points in that game.
Then why did we not get 3 points?
We got
the soccer gods refused them. Why did we not get all 3?
Well, you got to ask the soccer gods that. I'm not the Pope here.
I thought you had like a direct line to like
but Thad, they thought
Asgard
they
of
had
soccer gods.
They thought they had it, and we stole it away from them. That's good enough.
Why did the soccer gods give them that fluky goal?
Ugh. But see, that's what I'm saying. This stuff, one of those other ones happened later, so it was enough to push them over the edge. So the Galaxy here, the second half still hasn't started. 1-1. Galaxy still in last place, 3 points. That is just so funny to me. I'm going to eat up every second of them and their horribleness this year.
They were so close last week.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, they were up 2-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was a stoppage time goal that did them in.
But no, as I was saying earlier, though, how about Miami? Oh my gosh, they fired Martino after the best MLS regular season ever, and now there've got to be some of their fans that are wishing they hadn't done that because this Javier, buddy of Messi, etc. He's not a tactical wonder.
That was a nepotism hire, 100%. Messi was just like, I need one more of my buddies here. He's younger than them. I love Javier Mascherano. Loved that era of Argentina. Loved watching him play. But there's no reason to think that he would be a good coach. Messi just wanted someone that he knows that will just let him do what he wants and let him coach the team.
And then there's they've gotten rid of Robert Taylor, Capano. They got rid of Gressel. These are guys who are gritty. If we're going to talk about gritty guys who know how to win games, but they get rid of them and they replace them with these guys that are, again, they're countrymen or just, Hispanic, and they think they're better than these guys are. Yeah, it's pathetic.
They're still well above us on the table.
Well, yeah, but they're sinking fast.
Yeah, they've got like one win in the last 6 or something like that.
I think it's 7 or 8 now.
At least the last 2 games have been like 3-0.
Yeah.
And shout out to Minnesota's social media team and their fans for. Did you see all that stuff when they were up there?
Mm-hmm.
The tifo and then the great fans and the pink phony.
Yeah.
Like Lakers shorts and Yankees hat. Yeah, that was good stuff. And shout out to Minnesota for beating St. Louis 3-0 this weekend. That was also very nice.
And shout out to David Beckham for commenting against Minnesota.
Yeah.
God, doesn't he have a team of people to tell him to not do that? David.
You can't make this up. This is a MLS peak moment, like prime moment.
It is.
Caroline, show some respect. Come on.
Never.
I mean, this could be like episodes in Ted Lasso, literally like, the evil owner from the other side, saved by Bruce Arena from getting a red card after a game. I mean, like, Bruce, why did you not just let him have a red card, man? Like, why?
Because Bruce is a professional.
So, Thad, you had an interview with the Sunflower State people.
I did. A bunch of good guys. Went out to the game yesterday. 2 games, actually. The men who are in USL 2 played Springfield. Had a good start, but couldn't hold on, so they lost 3-2. And the women played KC Courage, crosstown rivals in WPSL. First time ever they beat the KC Courage. And honestly, it was the first half of that game. I kind of set up in the stands. I just shot a little bit, but I was really just watching the game. It was a really fun game to watch. Really well played, just good ball movement. It was just an enjoyable game. So go out and support them.
My guy does not miss soccer in this city. Appreciate your sacrifice, Thad.
I do, because there is too much of it. There was, as the second game, the women's game was playing, I saw another team like stroll in and sit down in the stands, and I'm like, who the hell are these guys? And then they're Inter Wichita, and I'm like, Inter Wichita what are they doing at UMKC? So they were there to play. Oh man, I don't even remember who now, but they were there to play a UPSL game. And then there's also the League of Clubs has teams here in Kansas City. So there's a lot of soccer right now,
including the KC Current 2 versus a great team name, the Minnesota Aurora.
It was the Battle of the Teals.
Yeah, that's right.
Minnesota has a great Aurora FC has a great jersey.
Oh, it's so nice.
Great logo. They had they had put like Minnesota's like red next to our red, their teal next to our teal, their blue next to our blue, and it was like a guessing game. They're like, guess which one is ours.
Oh wow.
Of the 3. It's very similar. I would say that they probably are a little bit more teal.
That's a little annoying that they stole it, but whatever.
They stole it. They were here. They were there first.
Yeah.
Wow, Cody, know your women's history of soccer.
It's good to call him out, but he would make that same mistake with the men's side too. So
for sure. No, but Kansas City Current 2 lost 2-0. There is not a roster, so don't know who's on the team without watching it. I cannot find it.
Foot Mob doesn't have the automatic score updates for that league yet.
It's not a league.
It's just a friendly.
Oh, okay.
KC Current 2 are not in a league yet.
Get it together, Foot Mob.
One of my neighbors growing up is a intern, like photography for Aurora, so I can see if I have a roster from her. Shout out Evan Neubauer. I don't think you listen to this, but shout out.
All right, what else happened around Major League Soccer? Johnny Russell, Kerry. A Johnny Russell sighting.
Yep. It looked as weird as we thought it would.
It did. It's unnatural.
They had the profile picture like of his like side profile for the subbing in. That beard, I don't know. He just looks like he's like the timber guy that cuts all the wood when they score.
The beard's gotten larger?
It looks scrappier almost. It's not like full. It's just there.
Yeah, he had it pretty scrappy the whole last year of him. It was a scrappy beard.
I think that if he shaves it, he would look probably 3 years younger.
Yeah, that's
or older. I mean, it could go either way, quite honestly.
It's a 50-50.
Hey, more power to Johnny though. Good. Hopefully he does okay and doesn't score against Sporting.
Well, hey, Cody, you might be shocked. William Agata has yet to score for RSL.
Not shocked. More red cards than goals.
LAFC has scored.
Yep.
Oh.
We haven't talked about the Current yet.
We talked about Current 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, would you like to talk about the league-leading KC Current and, Tim Wachawinga, who scored a goal and set a record for the fastest to 25 goals ever in NWSL history? I mean, why would you want to talk about any of that sort of stuff? I mean, it is on our rundown, and we may have skipped over it, but the guy who runs our show which is a broadcasting professional, is probably had a plan. He's probably coming back to that. So you probably derailed him in that process.
I probably
There it
did.
is. There it is. You got around to it there at the end. I was just going to take it and not say that, but you got around to it at the end.
See, do you see how I either harass you or I support you? It's really nothing in between.
Hey, I was just making sure. I was just trying to help.
I also said that about stealing the jersey, knowing about 50% that it was going to be wrong. So I take shots for this team.
Yes.
I know I shouldn't say the bit, but people, I take shots for this team. So all of you sending messages and talking shit, it's a bit. Every time I sound stupid.
Okay. No, wait.
Not all the
crap
time.
you caught today.
Every time I sound stupid, it's a bit.
The crap you caught today was for being asleep and not showing up to the pod.
Cody.
This regular listener, he drops his kid off at school on Monday morning and turns on the pod, and it wasn't there. No pods were there. No local KC soccer pods were there for him to listen to, and he was disappointed, and he expressed his disappointment. So I'm sorry, man. I told him today, if you fell asleep and didn't show up, I was starting a Zoom up and we were going. If it was just me and Kerry, not Zavagnin, if it was just the two of us, we were going. It didn't matter.
You know, I think we just discovered the reason that Cody has actually never had us go video, because if there's actual video of the pod, when Cody says something that's wrong, we can't see his face. It's like, oh shit.
No.
You can cover it by saying it's a bit.
No, it's definitely Thad's face. Why we never do video. Sport egg!
Don't seem so tough. And 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin, anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.